In 1907, this town had a stock exchange, a bank, an opera house, 3 newspapers, 2 churches, and over 10,000 people living, working, and dying inside its borders. By 1916, just 9 years later, it had 17 residents. Today, it has 3. This is Rhyolite, Nevada, and someone is still home. The year is 1904. The Mojave Desert, one of the most hostile environments on the North American continent. No water, no shade, summer temperatures that crack 120 degrees, and yet 2 prospectors named Shorty Harris and Ed Cross found gold. Not flakes, not traces. Gold ore so rich that word spread across Nevada before the week was out. Within months, thousands of men poured into a nameless valley that had nothing but rock, heat, and the promise that this time, this was the strike that would change everything. They named it Rhyolite after the volcanic rock beneath their feet. Inside of 3 years, it had electric lights, running water, a train station with 2 competing rail lines, a school with 250 students, and the most sophisticated building in all of Nevada, a 3-story reinforced concrete bank built to last a century. At its peak, Rhyolite was worth more than Las Vegas, which at the time was nothing but a railroad stop in the dust. Rhyolite was supposed to be the future of the American West. So what happened? In 1907, the United States banking system collapsed. The panic of 1907 was so severe it nearly destroyed the entire American economy. Banks froze withdrawals, credit evaporated, capital stopped moving. For a mining town that ran entirely on outside investment and blind belief in endless gold, the panic wasn't just a financial problem. It was a death sentence. Investors pulled out, speculators vanished. The mine operators who had quietly known for months that the ore was declining used the crisis as cover and shut everything down. By 1910, the mines had stopped completely, but the people didn't leave all at once. That's not how towns die. First the investors left, then the businessmen, then the workers. The school closed in 1909. When the school closes, the families leave. The newspaper shut down one by one until a town that once had 3 papers stopped believing in its own story. The electric company cut power in 1911. The train stopped running in 1914. A town that once had electric lights, something most of rural America didn't even have, went completely dark. Every night, the few who remained lit candles and oil lamps in a town built for 10,000, while the desert slowly began to take it back. By 1916, the U.S. Census recorded just 17 residents. Rhyolite never burned. There was no flood, no earthquake, no single dramatic disaster. The desert simply waited. Adobe crumbled, wood rotted, glass shattered in the endless cycle of scorching days and freezing nights, until the structures that once housed 10,000 lives were reduced to walls, then half-walls, then foundations. A few still stand. The bottle house, built from 51,000 beer and liquor bottles, still glitters in the sun like a fever dream. The 3 remaining walls of the Overbury Bank rise from the sand like a gravestone to confidence itself, and the old train depot, quietly preserved. Since 1988, Rhyolite has been managed by the Bureau of Land Management as an open-air ghost town. Tourists come, they take their photos, and then they leave. The silence always returns. So the 3 people, the site itself is technically unmanned, no rangers, no permanent staff. But on the edge of the ruins, in structures that predate the government's management, a handful of caretakers and desert dwellers have maintained a quiet, stubborn presence for decades. They are not tourists. They are not historians. They are the last thread connecting Rhyolite to the kind of people who came here and simply stayed. The gold miners came for a reason. They stayed because the desert got into them. Because once you've lived at the edge of everything, no city, no noise, no pressure to be anything else, it becomes almost impossible to go back. Rhyolite sits 120 miles northwest of Las Vegas, the city it once outranked. Las Vegas now has over 2 million people. Rhyolite still has 3. And the desert, patient as ever, continues taking it all back at exactly the pace it chooses. Here is what Rhyolite really is. It's a record of what 10,000 people believed at the same moment that this place, in this desert, in this heat, was going to be the center of something permanent. They were wrong, but the walls are still here, and if you stand inside them long enough, in the dark, in the quiet, with the desert wind moving through where the ceiling used to be, you can almost hear them still believing it.